Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today I have got to make I haven't got to, but I'm going to make a birthday, and I've got a present and I need a tag for a lady who is likes everything white. She's somebody who doesn't like colour. Her whole house is white, everything is white, so I thought I would make a card and a tag with everything white. I've got to have a little bit of gold and maybe a little bit of silver. So I have done, I've done a little tag, which is going to go onto the present. And I want to just sort of decorate that up and make it look pretty. So I'm going to put this washi tape on. I'm quite enjoying doing things with washi tape at the moment. So I'm just going to have a couple of strips of washi tape on there just to give a bit of a colour. But obviously it's a lot of white. I've then got some ribbon, and I'm just going to try and work out which. I think I'm going to have a bit of lace coming out of the top. So this is part of some lace that I was gifted recently. So I thought, okay, let's use that to go in there. Now again, although I'm doing this as a birthday, if you wanted to do a monochrome card for a wedding anniversary, a wedding celebration, an anniversary or something like that, then these might be a few sort of ideas for you. So that's quite pretty in there. Now all I've done is I've done some die cuts, and I thought I could just pop these along here and just sort of make them look a bit pretty. Now, you know how I enjoy doing my flowers. So I thought, right, I'm going to have 3 little flowers going across there and then some leaves. So I've got this little mat, which I tend to use, and then all I'll take is the end of a paintbrush or something that's got a rounded end on it. You want it fairly big, so I'm taking one sort of that size and literally just put it in on the center on a little mat. Now you can do it with a ball tool or things like that, but I just like to do it just straight away like that. So I think I should have 3 of these with a bit of luck, and if not, I'm going to have to do another one. Yes, I have. I've got 3 of them. So I'm literally just, oh no, that's a different one for a different flower, isn't it? Yes, there's the 3rd one. So I'm literally just taking my end of a paintbrush and just literally pressing down in there like that. And as I say, there's all sorts of ways of doing it. You can do a ball tool, etc. But if you haven't got all of the paraphernalia and things, you know, you can do it without. So I've got these 3 that are going to go in on. I'm going to put it up here because I think it's easier for you to see with a dark background. Let me take these other little pieces up as well, because they're going to be, there we go, and put them about there. That's about right. So I want to have these coming in on here, and I'm just going to use some wet glue. Now I could use some dimensionals and things, or glue dots actually might be an idea, because that will stick them on a little bit better, I think. Let me grab some, because I want 3 of them down here like that. And then I'm going to have the little leaves and things round them. I've just seen my, excuse me, I'm reaching across my camera as I go, because I've just put some glue dots in on here. So let me just, that's better, put those on like this. So I quite like using glue dots sometimes because it will stick virtually anything onto anything. So let me just find where I've got to with them. Here we go. I'll take that off, put that in the bin. Okay, so I'm literally just putting this on with the glue dot, and then I can put it on here and it will stick quite nicely. Let's get the next one. funny, glue dots are things that you can't see until you actually, there we go, put one in on here, put that one sort of in the center, and we'll have one more just on the side. The rest I can glue down, but I just wanted to have this piece in. Move that out of the way because I don't need that for now. Let's get that little, sometimes they don't want to stick on and they just make up, there we go. So pop this one in on here, and it means that I can then scrunch it up if I want to, like that. And I'm going to put little leaves and things round so I can glue those on. So let's, now did I want some, I had this little bit of ribbon here, didn't I? I think I'm just going to stick that just in underneath like that, about that long. So let me take some scissors and just cut that down. I've got some really old scissors that that belong to my late mother or potentially my uncle, and I've just started using them. I've sharpened them, and they're great fun to use. Okay, so this needs to go down with some, I'm just going to use some wet glue. Let's use this. So the sort of Pritt stick type glue will work quite well on this, because I can then just put it down and it'll dry itself off. So let's put that on. It's got sort of a felty look to it, and I'm just going to tuck it in underneath on there, so that just gives a little bit of extra texture on there. And I've got those coming through on there. And now I want to, is that going to stay on or is that going to just come off? I don't know where the glue dot's down there, isn't it? Come on, stick to the glue dots. That's better. Then I just want a few little leaves coming through on here. So I'm just going to put a little bit in on there. We can have a leaf coming up that way. And I can have another one. These are just little punches and things that I've had for a long time. So I like using what I've got, as you know. Put a little bit of glue on this one and tuck that one in on here. So that's that. I've got these leaves as well, which will just go in on the side. Like that. Over the top of that little bit of ribbon. Because the idea is to just literally build up layers that the tag looks quite pretty without it being over the top. Need to get a little bit of glue on here. Come on, thank you. So I'm just going to tuck one in on here like that, because that'll come in over the top of the ribbon, so it gives it a little bit of dimension on there. And obviously once it's dry, it'll be it should be fine. So let's put that on there. I'm going to put these little pieces just, I was going to put them in the center, but I think I'm going to use, I could put them in the center actually, because I've got, this can go in the center of each one of these like that, and then I'm going to press it down again with my end of my paintbrush, or say the end of a pen will work. So I'm just placing those to go in the center, and this is the third one. I'll put that in the center there like that, and I'm just going to grab my paintbrush, and I'm just going to take this and take it in onto the center like that. Just press it down, because then once the glue dries it will go down quite nicely on there. So you've got that sort of look at the moment, and then I've got some nice little sort of pearls in here, and there's some shiny ones. I haven't used these very much, so And I would assume, like most things, they've probably, you can't get them anymore, but I'm sure you've got some twinkly little things that you could put on there. So I'm just going to put these ones which are quite iridescent or shiny. You can see these ones are shiny, some of them aren't shiny, so I'm just putting 3 on here, I think, like that. So that just gives that little bit of shine on there. Move that out of the way for the minute. And that, I think, now I could put a little bit of glitter or something on there, but I think that that's probably going to be all right. I'm going to put a to and a from, and I'll show you the actual, this is the little gift that I've got, which again is wrapped in white, a little bit of white ribbon on there. And I thought if I put that in on there like that, and I'm going to tie it on so that the ribbon comes at the top. I'll tie it on probably with white twine like that, and then, as I say, I can put my message and things on the other side. But I think that that works quite well. It's not overly fussy, but it's got a little bit of colour on there, so I think that's fine. So now on to the birthday card. Now what I've done is I have put a die cut of a happy birthday on there to start off with. And then I have got, again, I've got ribbon and things, but I don't think I'm going to use, will I use ribbon or won't I use ribbon? I'm quite funny with ribbon. No, I don't think I'm going to use. I got some pieces of ribbon out to see if I just wanted to use some for a little bit of sort of texture or something on there. But I don't think I do. I might use the little bit of lace on there, but we'll see. And what I've done is I've die cut some little bits and pieces and stuff to go on there, and then I thought I would emboss it with some sort of quite sort of twinkly bits and stuff. So I'm going to have one of these leaves coming this way. I've got this sort of flower to come down in on the bottom. Get it the right way. Get it the right way up that way. And then I've got this other leaf to come. I'm going to just start building it up, I think. So I want this little flower to just come in on the center here. And it's only going to have glue in on the center, so I can pick the leaves up if I need to. So I'm just putting that just in on the center, and that can go there. And then I want one of these leaves to come in underneath like that. So I need to just put some glue down in on this one. Can't see whether my glue's coming out. Hold on a minute, let me see if I can see. There we go. I'm working at my little desk now because I've moved my dining table, which is what I used to craft on, and I've got to get a different sort of light, because the light that's I have in here I have to put upwards, otherwise it sort of strobes a bit, and I don't like that because it then upsets anybody who's got sort of well, it would upset me, so I know that it would upset people, that, you know, you don't want flickering and stuff going on. So it means that I put the light upwards rather than downwards, which means that it's great for you, but it's not so good for me. Right, I want this coming that way. So I've got one going in one direction and one going in the other. I've got this leaf that I'm going to put up on the top. So again, you know, we're talking everything white in here, and I've got a few layers and things to go on. So this can come in. Oh, that's not going to fit there, is it? I'm going to have to put that there like that. Now, it doesn't matter if the glue's going to seep out, because we're going to do some embossing on there. So I want this one here, which again is quite small. I'm just going to do the center of this and put this on here. So we've got that little flower coming through. This one is going to go in on the center here. So again, I'm just going to do a little bit of glue. I think I need to get a new bit of glue on here, but it'll be all right. So that can go in on the center there. I've got these two that can come up in on the corner. So we'll have one in on here like that, and we'll have the other one up in the other corner. Which can go there. And then I've got two different types of stamen to go in the center. So this one is going to go in on there, which is in on the center. If I get it off my finger like that. And then this one is going to go in on the other side, which is like that. And then I can just pick those pieces up if I want to. So we've got those pieces on there. Now I want to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to put, I want to do some embossing on there. And I'm hoping the embossing will actually just add a little bit of something on there. So I'm going to put Versamark like this all over the top of it, and then I'm just going to add some, so I need this sort of fairly flat to do the embossing, and then I can put it up afterwards. So I'm just going to grab some embossing powder, which of course is right in my drawer, which I thought, am I going to do this or not? And I hadn't decided whether I would. And so I need to just move my little basket out of the way. Excuse me a second while I just get my embossing powder out. Now I want clear, but maybe clear with a bit of, right, that's a clear one. And I think that should be all right. It's probably got a little bit of sparkle in it, but that should be fine. Excuse me, because I just want that to just sort of come over. So I'm just going to take the embossing powder and I'm just going to go all over the top like this, so that it's going to be a little bit random, but hopefully will give it doesn't matter where it goes. You know, normally you're trying to be really careful and make sure that it doesn't go too many places. Right, I'm just going to use this to just put the embossing powder on so I don't waste any. And this is, I think it's got a bit of sparkle on it, I'm not sure. I know it's clear. Whoops. Oh, it's got all sorts on here. You can tell I haven't used this before. It's got all sorts of little bits that have got stuck to it. It won't affect the actual embossing, but it's clear, but it's got a bit of other stuff on it as well, which I'm hoping will, if I just shake it about a bit, it's just going to give some glittery type embossing to the card like that. I hope you can see you've just got that sort of little bit of glitter coming through, and it doesn't matter that it's not everywhere because we don't necessarily want it everywhere. So I'm just going to put it to one side while I collect these little bits up. As I say, I haven't used this one for a long time, but embossing powders will last forever. So until they're all gone, I will carry on using them. Right, that can go up in on here, and I've still got a little bit of it left, which is good. So I've had this one probably 10 years, and I've literally just got that little tiny bit left in there, so that's fine. I just take that off of there. So I now need to get my heat gun out which again is in another drawer, but I can just wiggle that out hopefully. What's that stuck to? It's always stuck to something you don't want it to. So I'm just going to plug this in. This is where you fast forward. While I just plug it into its plug. Right, hold on a second, I'm just plugging it in. There we go. Right, so what I need to do, and I need to take this out of the way because otherwise this is going to melt, because this is just a foam mat, so I don't want that on there. But I think once I've embossed it, it will give it a really nice, excuse the noise while it's heating up a little bit, it will give a really nice sort of sparkly shine to it and just add a little bit of difference. So I'm just going to go in from the top. Just heat this over here. Turn it round as I'm going. And this should just add just a little bit of sparkle on it. It also highlights the other bits out just a little bit. So I think that let's see if have I got it all? Have I got it all? Let me get some of it in the middle. Oops. That's better. As I say, I can't, with this lighting, I can't see, whoops, particularly well. So I'm just looking to see whether, oh, it hadn't started embossing. I can just see where it started now. So it hasn't, right, you can see where it starts to change. So I just want to make sure that I've got it, and I think it's because it's quite thick. So I need to, in fact, I'm going to, just for a second, I'm going to turn this light down. So apologise for the strobing if it comes in, but I can't actually see what I'm doing otherwise. Because it's white on white, there we go. So it's all going nicely now. I can now see what I'm doing. So I'm just going over it, and hopefully you can see it turning and it's not strobing too much. I will put it up the other way when I finish, but I just want to make sure that it's all just embossed beautifully. I've got quite a few sort of thick layers and things coming over it. I do like embossing, it does make such a beautiful difference. See what's coming in over the top of here. And because I'm doing it over the die cut, you really need to, and it's quite thick because I obviously did it over the top, you really need to just work on it section by section, because I've got the whole lot and I can see where it still needs to have some more on here. That's why I put the, as I say, if it's strobing, apologise, but I needed to do that. Right, that's fine. Now I can turn this back up here so it's not going to irritate. Now that is beautiful now. So that is going to go onto a mat like this, and then go onto the other one. So let me just get my glue, glue this down. Come on. this one onto here. Like that. And it's going to take a minute for the glue to take, because obviously it's still quite warm where the die cut has or where I've just embossed it, so it's going to take a second for it to take, but by the time I've done the other layer it'll be fine. Glue down on this one. This needs to then go in on here. I just need to make sure I've done 1/4 inch between each one. So I'm just going to add that on there to make sure that that comes in. Like that. And then once it's all stuck down, I'm just going to do on this side and give it a good old press down. That's better. So I just need to make sure that it's stuck down on here a little bit, which I can do in a minute. And then I'm just going to add some of those really nice twinkly little pearls, little hearts on here, and we'll have just sort of 3 dotted about. So let's have one there, and one there, like that. Okay, so they're in different angles, and that then gives me my, if I get it all out, gives me my present with my ribbon on. And as I say, I'm going to tie that on with some twine, so that's on there, and it gives me a birthday card as well. But again, you could quite easily have this as a wedding. So I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.